lay of the land look like for Tuchel? He's coming in, he's had a bit of, would I say controversy? He's had a bit of challenges in his career, squads in terms of disagreements with the Bayern board, Chelsea, how he left Chelsea. But he's been very successful along the journey.
Of course, yeah.
What does the lay of
I
the
wouldn't
land
say
look?
very, but I think he's been successful.
You don't think? All right, but he's been successful.
Yeah.
What does the lay of the land look like for him and England? What do you think it should look like, or what do you think he's going to do?
Well, the mission statement, as it were, is we're going to win the World Cup, essentially, right? Yeah. Or get to a final. Because, Gareth Southgate has kind of set a baseline.
Yeah, most definitely. Even though everyone wanted him out.
Of, finals.
Yeah.
We get to finals.
And
semi-finals, right? So, for Tuchel, who I think most would consider him a better manager than Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
Considering his club achievements, I think you kind of expect final.
Yeah.
Another final, right? So it'll be interesting. I think that's what it looks like. He has to get to a final. If he gets to anything less than a semi-final, then
how do you
think that's failure.
And how do you think he will set up then? What type of formation do you think he will play? And how do you think he will use Harry Kane? Do you think that's going to be...
I mean, we only have to look at his time at Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? It was the same Harry Kane we've seen that we're currently seeing.
Yeah.
He was dropping in and he had runners off of him. Sané, Gnabry, Coleman, whoever it was, Musiala.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much what we're going to continue to see. Harry Kane doing what he does.
Do you think he's going to stick with a 4-2-3-1 formation?
See, this is an interesting question. At Chelsea, he had the wing backs, right?
Yeah.
At Bayern Munich, I think it was still 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
I personally think he's going to stick with a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
But then, again, it also depends on the players at his disposal.
What do you think is going to be his biggest issue that he's going to struggle with in terms of a team that he puts out for each international game? What do you think the area that needs kind of the most attention, but we may not have the quality that's required to win the final that they want to get to?
I think right now it's defense.
Yeah, I agree.
I think right now it's defense. I think personally, up front, in attack and in midfield, we've got an abundance of options, right?
Talent, yeah.
In defense, as centre back, well, we've got Lewis Hall coming through at left back. So, as long as he can get regular game time at Newcastle, I think we'll be fine. We'll be okay.
For Mitchell, we want Mitchell. Yeah. We want Mitchell.
But all right, just to that point though, he does need more experience.
Who, Mitchell does?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Higher level experience.
Okay. Yeah.
He's played at the Prem. He's played in the Prem, but I mean, Lewis Hall can say I've played Champions League ball.
Yeah.
I've now played international football.
Yeah.
At men's
so he's
international
got that little
football.
bit more experience. But Mitchell's got more minutes though, hasn't he? And he's still playing against good opposition.
A lot of teams
and he's taken
will
on
say,
a lot of pressure when they're at Palace. So,
but a lot of managers will say, it depends on who you're playing for and what competitions you're playing in, right? So, right back, I mean, Reece James, I think we can just disregard him for now.
Yeah. I think from reading reports and the rumours that are out there in terms of his physicality, condition.
Yeah. I think that's his main concern right now.
I don't think he's ever going to get back to
it's just
the
consistency.
Optimum. And I think that's telling by how Chelsea manages him in the games. Like they'll play him as more of a holding left back. They're playing him left back, remember?
Yeah.
Over
Gusto.
Right, Gusto.
Yeah.
But to kind of balance it out. But I just don't think from what the reports are and what the rumours are, he can't get back to that level of physicality in terms of bombing up and down. And so, and you've seen that in the games, he's not really venturing so far past the halfway line. And he's
not playing with the same intensity that he used to.
So we could say that one's out the window. You got Trent still.
Trent's there. I mean, Walker's still there. Rico Lewis is coming through.
I've got reservations about Rico Lewis though.
Yeah, but he's young. I mean,
No,
he's learning. He's playing at the highest
no,
level.
I think he's a baller. I think he can ball. My reservations around his physicality. I don't think he's physical enough. And I think when you,
Yeah, he's still young though.
I, I, I just don't see it improving much more. And I just think this is playing riding challenges is very different to committing in challenges, right?
Mhm.
Like, so we'll look at someone who's of the physical stature, similar physical stature, which is Phil Foden. I would say
Mhm.
them two are very similar in their physical stature. He rides challenges. He knows how to roll off of a challenge and use it to gain advantage by poking it around the corner or whatever, and using his body well. When you need to, like, as a defender, as we know, when you need to be strong and stand up or barge the guy, I don't see that in him. And
I think he's got it. You know,
I, don't,
I think he's
I
got
think
it.
the other day, the game against Brighton, you saw when he was just outpowered physically in the goal. And then there's a couple other moments throughout the season where I see physically he's been outpowered by his opponent.
Yeah, but again, that goes down to him being young. He's still got time to develop.
Yeah.
He can still get in the weight room and
Mm.
develop that core strength.
Mm.
I mean, to be a defender, you kind of have to have some physicality about you, or the desire to be physical.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. He plays in a team where they have
dominate possession of the ball,
80%
yeah.
possession on average, or I know I'm speaking a bit, exaggerating a little, but let's be honest, they
Yeah.
dominate possession
Yeah.
most of the
And
time.
the field tilts are in their favour.
So cool. He's going to get in games where England might not dominate possession. Let's just say they're up against a Germany or a France or whoever it may be, and they might not dominate possession, or a Brazil. How does he handle that? I think he'll be fine. I genuinely think he'll be fine. I mean, you've got to look at he plays for City in two positions that require a lot of physicality, right? Fullback and defensive mid or centre mid, right?
Mm.
You have to be quite physical in those
But
positions.
and from watching those games, I don't see him winning a lot of those battles.
Nah, I think he needs to pay more
he does
attention.
well. No, he does well. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, he does well. I think when there's key moments, he lacks in the key moments when it's needed. But
I don't take away from him for that instance, just because I think he's still young, he's still developing.
Mm.
That will come.
All right.
I think that will come over time.
And then let's centre backs.
Right. I mean, what are our options? John Stones, Harry Maguire, Branthwaite, who else?
Colwell.
Gay, Kwanzaa.
I think Gay. For me, and I think I just think it's based on appearances. But I think Gay, he's the cert.
I think he needs to move to a bigger club as well.
But you can see the quality in him.
Yes, the potential's there.
The potential's there, and he showed it in the international tournament.
Yeah.
He was one of England's best players.
Yeah,
but Colwell.
What's about it? What's about it?
I think he's all right. I don't think he's a starter. I think he's solid for the squad.
Stones comes back and takes that position. So Stones and Gahey for me.
And then who else is there? We just
Maguire.
I think Maguire gets a little bit too much disrespect. I think internationally he's very good.
Okay, but does Tuchel pick him?
I think he will.
Once he's fit, you think Tuchel picks him?
Yeah.
Do you think Amarim picks him?
Yeah. I think Amarim picks him.
You think Amarim picks him?
Yeah. And the reason why I think he picks him, like,
so De Ligt, Maguire, Martinez, who else?
I'll be honest.
What's the Lindelof? Is Lindelof still there?
Lindelof is a squad guy, and the one that's been injured.
Lenny Yoro.
So
5 centre backs that we've just named.
Yeah, I think depends on what direction Lenny Yoro goes. But what people underestimate or don't respect Harry Maguire for is how he passes out from the back. He passes a lot, but I mean, he passes a lot.
Pardon?
Harry Maguire passes a lot,
What, when he's not under pressure?
He passes a lot. Internationally, he's great. Like, when I was doing my bets for international, he was one of our ones to get 90 plus passes because he makes forward passes, progressive passing. He keeps the ball ticking from centre back. He's quite comfy on the ball. Yes, there's things about him under pressure.
Okay.
But I think a system allows you to evade that at times, the right system.
Okay.
And that's what Tuchel's there for. So I think Harry Maguire's in there. Who else is there? I think that's it. And it depends on what way Branthwaite goes, innit? He's still in his early stages.
Yeah.
Again,
another player who needs a move, maybe to a mid-table club. Maybe I don't think he's ready for a top team yet. Maybe a mid-table club, see how he how he does. Maybe a Newcastle or Newcastle don't need him. They're quite covered. But I mean, I don't know. Someone like a Spurs or or in and around that. A West Ham. Well, West Ham are fighting for relegation at the moment. But I mean, a mid-table club. Let's just say a mid-table club where he can slot in. I mean, all right, I'll pick one up. Brentford.
Yeah. But Everton and Brentford, Everton will say they're 2 signings away from being Brentford. Not that but I know that's how Everton fans look at it. But no, I hear it. I don't get me wrong, I'm not on that train, but I believe Everton fans will turn around and their board will say, well, but we're only 2-3 signings away from being. Because remember, Brentford's leaking a lot of goals.
This is why I say maybe a Brentford can come in.
Everton's kind of the opposite. They're not leaking as much. But they haven't got the quality in the thingy. So, but that we digress from that. So defense is the biggest issue for Tuchel, right?
Yeah.
And then, boy, that's gonna be. I think it's just a system thing. I think he's got just enough quality to get him through to another semi-finals and a finals. It's winning it is the question. I think he's got enough quality internationally.
I agree with you. I think he's got enough quality. Well, not to win it. I think he's got enough quality to get to the semi at the very least. Winning it is another story. But then again, maybe he's got experience of winning, right? He's won the Champions League. He's won leagues, right? So maybe put him in a final with this England team, and he doesn't make the same mistakes that Gareth Southgate does. We don't go 1-0 up and then shut up.
He does something different.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe
puts on another forward player or something like that.
He knows how to get us over that line. So maybe winning it isn't too far fetched, or maybe winning it isn't too ambitious. Maybe it's just the right call, and we'll see where we go from here. A quick question though about Tuchel, and I know we've spoken about it already, but now that we're talking about Tuchel, do you think he should have done something or said something in line with off the back of Harry Kane's comments?
Interesting. I don't think he wants to ruffle the boat yet, because he hasn't actually been formally introduced to all of the squad yet.
Yeah.
He might have given him a call, and he hasn't actually, and he'd be kind of stepping on Lee's exit, So he's just, let me bide my time. I have a private conversation. There's some battles that you're going to have privately and publicly. And I think some of them, I think that's a private one. I think he's going to give them a call and like, look, I want to win this.
Yeah.
I need you to be on board. And I yes, club form, but I need you here because you'll be a legend. Because the other thing about you're selling it to those players, if we win something, we're legends. We're like when we done the top 10 England strikers, one of the subscribers messaged, "Where's Jeff Hurst and Jimmy Greaves?" And we're like, well, it's from 94 to present. But what I'm highlighting is they're forever legends because they won the World Cup, So that's what's going to be the real interesting part.
Yeah.